Welcome to Tiger Tracks, your home for the best of LSU athletics. And now your hosts, Jordy Hultberg and Bill Frankes.
Hello, Tiger Nation. This is Tiger Tracks. He is Bill Frankes, the voice of Alex Box Stadium. I am Jordy Hultberg. Great to be with you. Since last we met, boy, what a draft for the LSU Tigers. 8 going into the draft, 8 more going as undrafted free agents. They're all signed, sealed, and delivered. LSU, nice job.
Absolutely. Of course, LSU helping to develop those players and giving them the opportunity to make a living in the NFL. So best of luck to all of those young men. They dedicated themselves to LSU, and now they're on to their pro careers.
The sky is not falling on LSU baseball. Paul Maneri and his group did what they had to do, took 3 out of 3 against Alabama, and now 7 teams fighting for the SEC outright title, all separated by 1 game.
Exactly. That's unbelievable. I don't think I ever recall that much parity in the SEC, with 7 teams within 1 game of the SEC lead. 9 games left in conference play. Tigers play host to South Carolina at Alex Box Stadium this weekend.
I'm looking forward to meeting Michael Sell. He is the co-head coach of LSU's women's tennis program. Of course, his wife is along with him, and they have climbed the charts.
They really have. In 5 years, they've completely rejuvenated the LSU women's tennis program. They're annually in the top 25. They've compiled 20-win seasons. They're among the top teams in the SEC. They'll be in the NCAA tournament next week in Berkeley, California, so we'll talk to Michael about that.
We got beach volleyball. We've got our BMW Offensive Performer of the Week, and much, much more. Softball, too. Stay with us. This is Tiger Tracks. Welcome back to Tiger Tracks here on CST. He is Bill Frankes. I am Jordy Hultberg. We're thrilled to welcome, for the first time, women's tennis. And it's a family affair, the Sell family. The wife, the head coach, the husband, the assistant coach, and they are jettisoned to the NCAA tournament yet again. And that's Michael Sell, kind enough to join us. Thanks for the time, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, and thanks for having me.
I got to ask you, this dynamic, it's very unusual.
Correct.
Like, you can't drive home and say, honey, how was your day? Because you see your wife all day and vice versa.
Correct.
How did this come about? How does this all work?
Oh, I mean, so far it's worked perfectly. We talked about it initially, me coming on board on her staff, which I still see it as her staff.
Right.
And we have different roles that we play with the team, and she's very good in her role, and I, compliment her, from that aspect. So far it's worked out excellent.
That's awesome.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Michael, this is the 5th year since Julia took over the program, and of course now you as the co-head coach in your 2nd year.
Correct.
Just talk about the evolution of LSU women's tennis. You guys are now a perennial top 25 team, 4 straight NCAA bids. Just talk about the process to get you where you are.
Well, Julia had a very competitive mindset coming in. I mean, we were unranked. Julia had to fill 5 spots immediately the first year she got here. But we had a philosophy if we wanted to get a lot of Americans in, We wanted to get a lot of girls that fit our competitive and championship culture. And we wanted hardworking, great girls that can represent LSU. And she came in, she got 3 tremendous girls, the highest ranked recruiting class at the time, which was 13. And that kind of started the evolution, of our team.
Your background, pretty good player at Georgia, ATP Tour, and then you got involved in the coaching. Give us some names of some of the people that you coached.
Well, I mean, Grand Slam champion Monica Seles, to start.
That's pretty good.
No, she was a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and hopefully she learned a lot as well. Worked with her for several years. And then throughout time, a lot of the top American juniors, men and women, when I worked for our national federation.
Okay.
And then just ended 3 years ago with John Isner. He's our #1 American player, and obviously our tallest.
You went from Monica. I was going to say Seles here to Isner here. I mean, that's quite a. What did you take from that experience as a player, as a coach of pros, very successful professional athletes, and deliver that message to college athletes?
Well, from that standpoint, everyone has their own insecurities. Everyone has their own strengths.
Okay.
Even at the top level, So it's knowing the personality of the player. It's knowing how you can improve them. There at the top level, you're improving them maybe 1 or 2%. And it's mainly a lot of the stuff off the court that you're dealing with.
Okay.
With the college aspect, you're dealing with the same things. You can teach the college kids probably a little bit more than you can the top professionals. You also, in college, don't have to deal with agents. You don't have to deal with appearances, and all that jazz.
Just out of curiosity, were you there at Wimbledon when Isner had that marathon match? Were you there coaching him?
Thankfully, I was not.
You were not, okay.
No, I was there. I waited the year after.
Okay, he needed a better coach. He needed to learn how to close. Okay, I got you. All right.
Well, Michael, talking about this LSU women's tennis team this particular season, you guys are going to Berkeley next week for the NCAA tournament. We'll talk more about your individuals in the next segment, but just as a team, it appears as if this team has a lot of chemistry, and that's one reason for the big success.
Oh, this is our closest knit group that we've had.
Really?
The chemistry we've had is excellent. This is the first year we've actually had our own players.
Okay.
Here rather than some players from our previous coach. So from that aspect, the chemistry is awesome. The practice level is an all-time high. They hold each other accountable now off the court and on the court. All those characteristics add into some of the big successes we've had this year.
We'll take a quick time out here. As we're speaking, the heavens are about to break open, and it's great that LSU has this new practice facility. They can go indoor and not miss a beat on that. We'll continue the conversation with Michael Seles as we talk women's tennis from LSU here on Tiger Tracks.
Tiger Tracks on CST is being brought to you by Capital One Bank, the official bank of all things Louisiana, and by Louisiana Propane Dealers. Get up to $1,200 in rebates on propane accessories. Find out how at louisianapropane.com.
We're back on Tiger Tracks on CST. Bill, Jordy, we continue the conversation with Michael Seles, the co-head coach of the LSU women's tennis program. We've talked about this kind of meteoric rise and how you need a game plan, you need a philosophy, but you got to get players, right? And that's the key. And you've got a really good one as a freshman.
Yeah, Jade Lewis has been excellent for us. Coming in, she's top 10 in the country right now. She's had a few peaks and valleys throughout the season, but she's risen through those peaks and those valleys better on the other end. Very, her perseverance, her dedication to the game. She has a long-term future of wanting to do this for a living, and you can tell how she goes about it day to day.
When you think of tennis, I think men, if you have a strong serve, you played against Boris Becker and you were describing that. Strong serve, it's pretty tough to beat that. On the women's game, what are the characteristics of a really, really good female tennis player on the college level?
I mean, on the college level, there's actually many characteristics.
Okay.
Obviously, some actually have the big serve. We're facing Tulsa here in the first round. They have a lot of tall players.
Okay.
There's a couple of 5'11", 6-foot players, big serve, lanky. However, we have a few like Joanna Valcosta, who's been a huge success for us over the last couple years. Jade Lewis this year. They control the baseline. They have a lot of variety. They have power from the baseline. They look to take time away, and they got the speed to run down any ball. But both of those two girls, along with a lot of our other girls, huge competitive spirit, and they don't back down.
Gotcha.
Michael, at the SEC tournament, you guys defeated Texas A&M and then played number 2 Vanderbilt, the number 2 team in the nation,
Correct.
and played a great match that Vanderbilt was able to edge you guys. But during the match, Jade Lewis beats the SEC Player of the Year,
She did.
the young lady from Vanderbilt. And how much confidence does that give you, knowing that you guys compete against some of the best teams in the country going into this NCAA tournament?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. We really finished the season well, especially playing Vanderbilt, number 2 team in the country at the time, SEC champion on their courts. And to have Jade come through and reverse her, because the Astra Sharma, who beat her a couple weeks ago pretty handily, well, Jade turned right back around and beat her at her home court. So we know we can win at any spot. We know not only with Jade, we can win down the line. So we have depth, but we also have that leadership from a freshman in Jade Lewis, but also the leadership from our seniors as well. So that balance has really helped out.
Now, there was a rumor out there when you brought recruits in, you take them to see the dub, and then when they say, well, let's talk about the indoor facility, you say, well, let's go get something to eat. We got really good food here. That's changed a little bit now, hasn't
That's
it?
changed. No, we have an absolute beautiful facility. We got to thank Joe Oliva, our administration for that. I mean, we have one of the best indoor facilities in the country, probably if not the best indoor facility in the country. They built us a beautiful outdoor. It's showing with our recruiting classes, that we're bringing in. So the commitment from LSU to our tennis program is energized, and it's really helped our program, build and build.
I think of Georgia and all the great success they've had. How does this equate to what they've had?
Oh, I mean, Georgia has a history of hosting NCAAs.
Right.
They've had probably the most beautiful outdoor, historic facility, but we trump theirs in a big way indoors.
There you go. Okay, good.
And we're certainly looking to overtake them in the next few years.
Absolutely.
For sure. So.
All right, so you guys heading to Berkeley next week.
We are.
First round is against Tulsa. You kind of alluded to Tulsa having some tall players. They're ranked number 36, I believe. You guys number 21.
Sure.
So it should be a challenging opening round match.
No, it should be very competitive. We don't know a whole lot about them. We didn't play them. There's only 2 common opponents we've played all year. They are tall, they are lanky, and they are all international. So these aren't the players that we have recruited, that for some of these other teams that we've seen. So we've never seen these players, but Julie and I are already watching film, doing our homework, and studying Tulsa to make sure we prepare our team the best we can.
I'm told Monica Seles has 1 more year of eligibility.
Sign her up. Sign her up. Sign her up.
She's the
Will
lefty.
will she give back her $60 million in prize money to
We can work that out. We can work it out.
We'd
We
love to
can
have
work
her.
it out. Best of luck to you and your wife.
Thank you.
As the co-head coaches of the
Yeah.
LSU women's program. Good luck in Berkeley.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Great
Michael.
having you. We'll take a
Appreciate it.
timeout. We'll come back with more here on Tiger Tracks. From the tennis courts to the beach. That's right, LSU's beach volleyball team. Russell Brock as the head coach. We had him on 2 weeks ago. A school record, 26 consecutive wins. That tells me they probably going to live to play some more.
That they are, Jordy. They're in the big dance.
There you go.
The big dance for NCAA beach volleyball. 8 teams qualified, taking place just down the street.
I'm ready.
In Gulf Shores, Alabama. LSU takes on UCLA on Friday for a chance at a national championship. That, of course, will be a quarterfinal match. Garrett Wahlberg had a chance to talk to Coach Brock and the Tigers as they prepare for the beach volleyball championships.
The LSU beach volleyball team continues to make history under head coach Russell Brock, earning its first NCAA postseason berth in 2017. During the season, the Tigers recorded 24 victories in a row and set a school record with 26 wins overall. Now ranked number 7 in the country, LSU claimed one of just 8 coveted spots in the NCAA tournament in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Russell Brock was honored as the conference coach of the year and is excited for this opportunity against the nation's elite.
Well, I mean, obviously it's great. I mean, we've had a lot of firsts this year, and for sure this is the sweetest one. So, you know, when you have an opportunity to play for a championship, a national championship, it's pretty special for sure.
The beach format consists of 5 teams split into pairs. The first school to record victories on 3 or more courts wins the match. Coach Brock and his staff feel confident about the pairings they're taking to Gulf Shores.
You know, we really worked hard at the beginning to get our lineup set up. And so then, you know, once you start to get some pieces together that make sense and are starting to perform well, then you can gain momentum. And I think we had a great opportunity to get some big wins. And every time we had an opportunity to play somebody who we knew was going to be a tough test, we did a good job of meeting that challenge. And so you get going and you get, you know, 20, 22, 23 in a row. That's a good stretch in the middle of the year to gain confidence.
LSU honored 4 members of their senior class, including 3 players who've been with the program since day one. Katie Leak, an all-SEC standout for the indoor team, is headed back to her native Alabama for the NCAA championships. Local product Emma Hiller won 13 matches as a sophomore and has provided depth and leadership as a senior. Emmy Allen was an all-conference selection at Gonzaga, leading her team in kills before transferring to LSU. And Katie Lindelof has started all 4 seasons for LSU Beach, becoming the program's winningest player. Lindelof, a Covington native, has seen the team come of age since their very first practice in 2014.
This is so much fun. Part of it because I've been here from the first year and really knowing how far our team has grown over the years. This is really nice to kind of see our work paying off, and I'm so excited for the freshmen and for some of the girls that haven't experienced anything like this before. This is a really exciting night.
Lindelof has previously competed on the number 1 court for LSU and has won 14 matches in a row with current partner Olivia Powers. Lindelof has given way to a talented freshman pairing of Claire Coppola and Kristen Nuss. That duo has compiled a 26-6 record, playing mostly as the number 1s, and have led LSU to 9 wins against ranked opponents.
It's pretty amazing. Honestly, just being a freshman, I didn't realize the impact of what this meant for our school and our program until today. This has been a 5-year process of getting to this point, and it's been pretty amazing today.
LSU will face number 2 seed UCLA on Friday at 11 p.m. The Tigers matched up with the Bruins earlier this season, losing by a single game 3-2.
Last time we played them, we didn't have our set lineup. We hadn't hit our groove yet, and we went 2-3 with them. So just believing in how well we've done so far this season and knowing that we've improved so much and found our groove and are hitting our stride, I think that's really going to be essential to our success.
We didn't really finish conference the way we would have liked, so I think that motivated us even more to not go home feeling the same way this next weekend. To know that this is the first time we get to represent LSU, we want to do that in the best way possible.
We've never played for the team championship in Gulf Shores. We've had some individuals go and do it, but this is a different animal. I'm confident in our ability to play the game. I think we've trained well, but you have to be able to do it on that stage at that moment in time, and that's to be seen, and I'm excited to see it.
The NCAA tournament will be broadcast via video stream and on True TV. Check your local listings to catch LSU in action. Reporting for Tiger Tracks, I'm Garrett Wolford.
That match Friday between LSU and UCLA, 11 o'clock, and if you happen to be by your TV, it'll be streamed. It'll be on True TV. I may have to DVR that thing.
Exactly. A lot of coverage for NCAA beach volleyball. Of course, it's a rising sport around the country. This will be the second year the NCAA is having a beach volleyball championship, and it's wonderful. A wonderful accomplishment for Coach Brock and his team to be right there in the mix for a national title.
BMW Offensive Performer Time and softball. Stay with us.
Tiger Tracks on CST is being brought to you by Capital One Bank, the official bank of all things Louisiana, and by Louisiana Propane Dealers. Get up to $1,200 in rebates on propane accessories. Find out how at louisianapropane.com.
We are back on Tiger Tracks on CST. Time for our weekly BMW Offensive Performance of the Week, brought to you by your local Louisiana BMW dealers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Tough choice this week?
Tough choice, but a young lady named Aaliyah Hobbs of the LSU track and field program is on a tremendous run right now. For the fourth straight week, she was named the SEC Women's Runner of the Week. She also was named the National Athlete of the Week by the U.S. Track and Field Association. LSU held the SEC Relays, not the SEC Championship meet, but a meet known as the SEC Relays last weekend at Bernie Moore. Several SEC teams were there. LSU in the 4x100 meter relay for women set a collegiate record, 42.12 seconds. Hobbs was part of that, and she also won the 100 meter dash at the SEC Relay. So Aaliyah Hobbs provides our BMW Offensive Performance of the Week.
It's one of the rare sports that has a draft prior to the end of the season, and that's softball. And they still haven't gotten to the SEC tournament yet, but we know some players are going to be playing professionally.
2 LSU players were picked in the first round, Jordy. Bailey Landry, we had a profile on Bailey just last week here on Tiger Tracks, young lady from Prairieville who's had a tremendous career as an LSU outfielder. She was a first-round pick, along with Savannah Jaquish. Jaquish has had a remarkable career for LSU, playing both at third base and catcher. Garrett Wolford had a chance to talk about the draft with Bailey and Savannah. Let's take a look.
Folks, we are live in Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, at historic Acme Feed and Seed for the 12th annual College Player Draft. We will have 26 players drafted tonight. Their dreams will come true.
For the 3rd overall pick, the Chicago Bandits select a catcher and an infielder from LSU, Savannah Jaquish.
Well, the thing about Jaquish is she can hit. She's the all-time RBI leader at LSU. When it comes down to it, when you need a big hit, Jaquish is the one you want in the batter's box. You put her anywhere on the field, whether it's catcher or anywhere else, she always looks like the most athletic player.
I was extremely surprised. You know, I think Coach knew before I did and she didn't tell me. So, you know, as a little girl, you always want to go play at the highest level, and college was the highest level for a long time until I saw the MPF, you know, starting to make that leap in softball. I really started looking towards playing pro.
I think it's fun to watch and find out, and I think it's just a really special day for our sport that women have opportunities to continue playing, get paid for their talents. They're very deserving of that. So I think it's really fun and just for our sport to see that happen.
The 5th pick overall, the Texas Charge take an outfielder from LSU, Bailey Landry.
Bailey Landry, as a little girl, went to LSU games always wanting to wear the Tiger uniform. Now she has evolved into one of the best players in NCAA softball. She's 5th in average in all of NCAA. She's dynamic. On offense, she can give you short game and power. Don't let her size fool you. She can deliver a big blow.
Yeah, it's definitely so exciting just to have that honor. Just to be drafted in general is a great honor, but definitely to go right behind my teammate, as to the 2 first position players, especially as the first outfielder, is definitely a big honor. Growing up, the professional softball wasn't really a thing, and now it's grown tremendously. The sport has grown tremendously. So as I got into college and I saw the sport growing and I saw what traction is building up in the sports world, it was definitely something that was attractive to me that I wanted to be a part of. But just to say that I'm a professional softball player, I think that says a lot about where the sport's going.
I think they're a big reason for where we are at this spot in the program. And Bailey's been such a Tiger fan for her whole life. It's fun to see somebody like that, and it's fun to write her name in the lineup every day and dress her in purple and gold, and get to know that she's living out her dream. And then Savannah, I think, has found a home away from home here, and the people have really taken to her, and she's just a spectacular athlete, has done so many things for us, and really has done it ever without a complaint, and played any position that's been asked of her, and done anything she could to make the team better. So that's been really special.
I wonder if those girls are going to have better clothes now that they're pro player. We'll see. I don't know. Anyway, big weekend, LSU baseball, South Carolina, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're honoring the 1997 national championship team.
That's going to be cool. It's amazing. Almost all the players from that team will be there.
Really?
Just tremendous response. They'll be at the box this weekend. Guys like Brandon Larson, Patrick Coogan, Doug Thompson, all the great players from that 97 team. They just roared through the College World Series.
They beat Alabama like a drum.
Yes, exactly. So it should be a lot of fun.
He's Bill. I'm Jordy. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on Tiger Tracks.